Absolutely not. And I love Joe Burrow. Aaron Rodgers is one of the best players at that position we have ever seen. I was drafted the same year, Aaron. I played against Aaron way too many times. He's one of the most talented throwers of the football ever. Joe does not have that. I love Joe, but Aaron Rodgers has done stuff with the football. He's a mutant. I posted a play this week, a throw that he had this past weekend, that is just ungodly. And Joe doesn't have that in his game. Aaron is the originator of the no-look pass. Matthew Stafford was one of Patrick Mahomes did not originate it. Aaron Rodgers and Matthew Stafford essentially did. I love Joe. I think Joe can win a Super Bowl. I think that Bengals can win. Look at that throw. It's just outrageous. I think Joe can win a Super Bowl. This throw is the one that is a mutant, though. But Aaron Rodgers is too talented. Aaron Rodgers has the arm kind of inexplicable, Ryan Clark arm arrogance stuff that Joe Burrow cannot do. I love Joe. I think that he's going to be a special player. I don't trust that organization. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is one of the most, part of one of the most historical organizations in the history of the NFL. The Bengals are not that. I think he can win a Super Bowl, but he cannot go get what number 12 has done.
I can't rule it out. And here's the reason why I feel this way, because you know how I feel about Aaron Rodgers. He's a bad brother. I mean, he's a bad man. We all know this. But when you only have one Super Bowl championship and one Super Bowl appearance, could Joe Burrow achieve that? Possibly. He's completed a career 66% of his passes. He's a national champion on a collegiate level. Mm-hmm. In the pro level, before he got hurt, Dan Orlovsky, he was playing pretty well.
No doubt.
This year right now, he's completing about 70% of his passes. Aaron Rodgers, for his career, has completed 65% of his passes. I know we look at some of the passes that he has thrown and how gifted he is, but I think when you take into account, Dan, and I'll defer to you because I'm being very serious here, but my mindset is when we consider the lax in rules that has really contaminated the defensive side of the ball in the National Football League and what defenses are subjected to, and as a result, what quarterbacks are allowed to do because of the excessive nature in which they're protected in today's day and age. I think when all is said and done, I'm talking about Joe Burrow's career, I don't think you'll find people reminiscing about and really, really comparing guys like that while taking all of those things into consideration that I just pointed out. All they'll look at is numbers, and the numbers are potentially could be very, very comparable to what we've seen Aaron Rodgers do. Those of us who've seen Aaron Rodgers with our human eyes, we recognize the fact that this is a once-in-a-generation kind of talent, and we understand that. But most people are not going to know that when all is said and done.
Dan, let me piggyback on what Stephen A. said, because at age 25, I did have research look up all the numbers. The win-loss record is the same through 14 starts. TD to interception ratio, Burrow's better. Pass yards, Burrow's better. Completion percentage, Burrow's better. QBR, Burrow's better.
I think that's a little bit attached to the era. Aaron's,
absolutely.
Stephen A.'s point, we're 13 or 14 years removed from Aaron's first years as a starter. I think it's simply put for this is me. Can Joe Burrow reach Aaron Rodgers' ceiling in totality? I don't think so because, one, I don't know if the Bengals organization is going to be as good as the Packers when it comes to stability. The stability of the organization. Quarterbacks are dependent upon what is around them. Number two, I think to realistically say that he can, it's got to be something physical. And my mind goes to, you guys remember the throw that he makes, Aaron Rodgers I'm talking about, in the Super Bowl against the Steelers to Greg Jennings on third down where it's thrown through a keyhole? I don't think Joe's got that arm velocity. Or the scramble against the Cowboys in the playoffs when he's going to the left and he throws that ball to, maybe it's Jared Cook or someone. He just doesn't have that, and that would be the difference. Again, I love Joe, and I think they can win this weekend, and I think he can be an absolute stud. If I had to take one young quarterback, I'm hard-pressed not to take him. But we're talking about Aaron Rodgers, and we're talking about a guy strictly off of his play, because he's only won one Super Bowl, strictly off of his play, that we put into, is this the most talented or one of the best to ever play the position? And he's only won one. I think that speaks to how great he is.
And what my retort to all of that is, because I get where you're coming from and I'm with you, but that's because we're watching them both, and I get that. And we've seen Aaron Rodgers throughout his career, Dan, as well as, and people are seeing Joe Burrow now. But I remember I was driving the other day, Dan, and somebody was on the air, and I forgot who it was, and they were raving about how we never thought we'd see anybody better than Johnny Unitas. Well, damn it, I didn't see Johnny Unitas. I mean, I have no choice but to defer to the historians who've witnessed all of it and say, hey, look at what this guy did. You have no idea. And I'm talking about, for me, Dan, listen, man, I grew up, I watched Fran Tarkenton. Remember how he used to be able to scramble with that football?
Yeah.
You understand? I mean, when we talk about Joe Montana and his Super Bowl championships, I remember one Terry Bradshaw winning 4 Super Bowl titles. We talk about great wide receivers like Jerry Rice and Randy Moss and T.O. Well, I remember Lynn Swann and John Stallworth in the Steel City. You understand? And when we talk about, defenses, the 85 Bears, and we defer. Well, I remember the Steel Curtain with me and Joe Green and L.C. Greenwood and Jack Ham and Jack Lambert and Mel Blount and those brothers. When we talk about hitters and assassins, I remember Jack Tatum for the Oakland Raiders at the time. The list goes on and on. What I'm saying is you could pull up all of that stuff, but in the end, if you haven't seen it with your own human eyes, you're going to defer to numbers. And in the end, Joe Burrow's numbers might be comparable. That's all I'm trying to say.
I'd say this, Mal. I think Joe Burrow can be Steve Young. I think that's who he can be, Steve Young.
Yes. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.